The president says that Sri Lanka is fast becoming the economic center of South Asia. The false propaganda campaign of Sirasa on Olympic telecasting rights condemned by several sections. According to geologists, there is no likelihood of large-scale earthquakes occurring in Sri Lanka. The largest weekly fair in the island has been visiting the people in Minuwangoda. Leaders of G8 countries pledged to promote economic growth and generate employment.
Now for those and other stories in detail. President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that Sri Lanka is rapidly developing as an economic centre in South Asia again, following the 3-decade setback due to tiger terrorism. He added that such a development could be achieved as a nation if it raised its head as one country, one nation. He made these observations when he addressed the 12th sessions of Doha Economic Summit in Qatar today. This report has been filed by Mohan Karunaratne of Rupavahini from Doha. President Rajapaksa arrived in Doha, Qatar in the early hours of today to attend the 12th Doha Summit on the Middle East Economic Progress as a guest of honour on an invitation extended by Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani. The Sri Lankan president and the delegation were greeted at the airport by senior officials of the Foreign Ministry in Qatar, Sri Lankan Ambassador Jayant Palipana and embassy officials. A cordial meeting between President Mahinda Rajapaksa and the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, took place this morning before the commencement of the summit. Over 600 delegates representing 84 countries and organizations, including the Middle East, Europe, Asia and the United States, are attending the summit. The aim of the Doha summit is to strengthen and diversify economies of the Middle East and other countries. President Mahinda Rajapaksa delivered the address of the guest of honour following the speeches made by the Emir of Qatar and the Prime Minister of the country, Hamadi bin Jasim bin Jabbar Al Thani. The president noted that Sri Lanka, the oldest democratic state in Asia, which gained the universal franchise in 1931, is now moving towards a new era of peace and prosperity. He pointed out that Sri Lanka has been able to direct towards prosperity through a policy of empowering the rural economy and agricultural industry at a time where many countries were facing economic setbacks. The island nation is at a leading position in the Asian region in wide expansion of education. The president asserted that the aim of the government is to transform the country as a knowledge centre in Asia, carefully considering the needs of technology. The president's speech, made before several leading economic analysts in the world, was very important for Sri Lanka. The summit will be continued till the 23rd of this month. The state of Qatar, with petroleum and gas resources, has recorded the highest per capita income in the world. Qatar has been able to supply 77% of the world's gas requirement. This small state, with an area of around 11,437 square kilometers, has already gained high economic growth.
A minor earth tremor was felt in Badulla and surrounding areas at around 1:45 am today. The Geological Survey and Mines Bureau says that it was recorded in the Richter scale. The minor earth tremor was reported in Bandarawila, Nuwara, Valimada and Mahayangana areas. Its magnitude is around 3 units in the Richter scale. Scientists suspect that it could be the result of activating a crack in an inner earth plate. People in several affected areas add their views to Rupavahini. They heard shake, sound of an airplane were heard by them. Could not recollect what happened after she heard a massive sound suddenly. 3 centers to monitor earth tremors were set up in Hakmana, Mahakanadarawa and Pallekele areas. The chairman of the Geological Survey and the Mines Bureau, Dr. N.T. Vijayananda, said that it confined to a limited area. Dr. Vijayananda noted that less than 10 minor earth tremors were reported in Sri Lanka during the past 5 years. He said that such minor tremors occur once or twice in a year in Sri Lanka. Massive earthquakes occur in Japan, New Zealand, Java and Sumatra Islands. The main reason for this is these countries are located near geological plates. But Dr. Vijayananda said that the probability of such massive earthquakes occurring in Sri Lanka is minimal, as the island is located far away from such geological plates.
People's representatives vehemently condemned the false propaganda campaign being carried out by the Sirasa Media Network, claiming that they will telecast the 2012 Olympic Games. They point out that using sportsmen and women as well as politicians for the Sirasa campaign was a very low act. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has been able to telecast 7 out of 8 Olympic Games conducted since 1982. It has the sole rights to telecast the 2012 Olympics as well. The relevant agreement was signed between the SLRC and the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union in December 2011. It has already made the full payment to obtain the televising rights of the Olympic game. Under these circumstances, the propaganda campaign of the Sirasa Media personnel based on a letter sent to another party was a violation of the agreement. The Rupavahini Corporation has filed a petition against the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union to win their rights. The Colombo Commercial High Court issued an enjoining order preventing the telecasting of the 2012 Olympics by any other television channel in Sri Lanka. However, the Sirasa Media Network continues its false propaganda campaign, claiming that they will telecast the Olympic Games. This channel has used veteran sportsmen, ministers, deputy ministers and scholars towards this end. Several people's representatives said that they condemn this low-level media policy of the Sirasa Media Network. Minister S.B. Dissanayake said that the Sirasa Media Network has carried out a campaign claiming that they received the telecasting rights of the 2012 Olympics. But the Rupavahini Corporation has explained the matter in detail, saying that they have signed an agreement and it has gained sole rights of telecasting the Olympics. The Rupavahini Corporation has obtained an enjoining order from the court against the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, preventing them from vesting the rights in any other television institute. He said that as a former sports minister and a person who works closely in activities connected to 2 or 3 Olympic Games, creating unnecessary tension in media institutions in the country was completely wrong. It is wrong to impose obstructions against the recovery of a large sum of money spent for publicity campaigns of the media. It is now clear that the Rupavahini Corporation has already gained the full rights to telecast the Olympic Games. He called upon other media institutions to not disrupt activities of Rupavahini.
මේ වගේ අපේ මාධ්‍ය ආයතන රට තුල මේ වගේ අනවශ්‍ය කලබල ඇති කරලා මේ මාධ්‍යමය ප්‍රචාර කටයුතු කිරීම සඳහා කරන විශාල මුදල අය කර ගැනීමට දුෂ්කරතා බාධා වැටකඩලු පවරන එක ඉතාම වැරදි. ඉතාම පැහැදිලි ශ්‍රී ලංකා රූපවාහිනී සංස්ථාව විසින් මේ රට තුල ප්‍රචාරය කිරීමේ පූර්ණ පරම අයිතිය අත්පත් කරගෙන අවසන්. මෙවැනි දේ හරහා මේ ඔලිම්පික් තරඟාවලියේ මේ ප්‍රචාරක කටයුතු රට තුල අවුල් කරන්න එපා කියලා සියලුම මාධ්‍ය ආයතන වලට මම කියන්න කැමතියි.
Minister T.B. Ekanayake paid a tribute to the Rupavahini Corporation for gaining the right to telecast the Olympic Games that will enable everyone to view the whole Olympic festival. Rupavahini is fulfilling a national responsibility as a great communicator in Sri Lanka.
Several scholars and veteran sportsmen and women say that the false propaganda campaign of Sirasa Media Network on the Olympic telecasting rights is a grave insult to the country's laws, media ethics, as well as the good image of sports. They expressed their views on this issue when they participated in the Sunday Ayubowan program of Rupavahini this morning. The chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, veteran journalist Mohan Samaranayaka, said that he accepts multi-pronged media freedom as the chairman of Rupavahini and as a media person and a journalist. He noted that he has no personal grudge against any person. Here is a legal and a problem on ethics as well as the problem of rights of the people. Rupavahini has obtained the sole telecasting rights of Olympic Games by paying money. Under this setup, another media institution is trying to grab the rights using several unscrupulous characters. Professor Chandrasiri Rajapaksa of the Mass Communication University, the activities of media institutions were very unfortunate. It is important to start a dialogue on media on a wider scale. There is no media culture in the island. This was the main problem, he said.
ආරම්භ කිරීම වැදගත් වෙනවා කියලා. මොකද මේ ජනමාධ්‍ය වල සදාචාරය සහ මේ ජනමාධ්‍ය වල මට හිතෙන්නේ ජනමාධ්‍ය සංස්කෘතියක් අපේ ගොඩනැගී නැහැ. මෙන්න මේකයි ප්‍රධාන කාරණයක් වෙ තිබෙන්නේ.
Sri Lanka's ace sprinter and Olympic medalist Susantika Jayasinghe pointed out that Rupavahini has disseminated information throughout the world and in the country, highlighting many issues, as well as victories gained by sportsmen and women. Veteran athlete and sports coach Sunil Gunawardena said that activities of Rupavahini were praiseworthy as it took measures to reveal details of sportsmen and women, highlighting their contributions and talents. The responsibility of Rupavahini is to disseminate information on the Olympics promptly. Going to a short break. Welcome back. Cabinet spokesman and acting Information and Media Minister Lakshman Yapa Abeyewardena told a media conference in Matara this morning that imprisoned Sarath Fonseca is to be released tomorrow. Minister Lakshman Yapa Abeyewardena noted that President Mahinda Rajapaksa has signed the letter releasing former Army Commander General Sarath Fonseca on the 18th in accordance with powers vested in him under the Constitution. He noted that the freedom granted to him by the President will come into effect after resolving several legal matters through his lawyers in courts on Monday. This delay was due to the government holidays on the 19th and the 20th, he said.
Veterans in the business field said that they were highly impressed about the gaining of legal rights by Rupavahini to telecast the 2012 London Olympics, as it has modern technology and a wide transmission network. They expressed the belief that the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation will fulfill their task of telecasting the Olympic Games with national responsibility. Chief Executive Officer of Harcourt Company, Sanjit Madugala, said that they were very happy for the achievement of Rupavahini as the right holder of the Olympic Games because it acts with responsibility. On the other hand, the national television has a wide reception covering all areas in the island. He said that everyone will get an opportunity to view the Olympic Games due to the involvement of Rupavahini in this endeavour. Marketing Promotion Manager of DSI, Rohan Somavansa, pointed out that all Sri Lankans have been given an opportunity to view the 2012 Olympics as a result of the Rupavahini Corporation obtaining telecasting rights. The Minuangoda Divi Naguma Weekly Fair has been vested in the people. It is the largest fully-fledged weekly fair in Sri Lanka with trade stall facilities for over 800 traders. Minister Basil Rajapaksa declared open the weekly fair today. It was built within 3 weeks following the redevelopment of an area of 55,000 square feet. The Economic Development Ministry has spent 120 million rupees for this project. The objective is to sell essential consumer goods at reasonable prices. The Sunday weekly fair will only be opened for fish stalls. The trusteeship of the fair is vested in Minuangoda Urban Council. Addressing the gathering, Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that this initiative is aimed at introducing the ancient weekly fair culture to the new generation, allowing producers and consumers to meet face to face. He added that President Mahinda Rajapaksa has identified the importance of weekly fairs. He noted that the President has handed over the responsibility of implementing the Divi Naguma weekly fair program to the Economic Development Ministry. Trade stall owners said that they have been provided with wide business opportunities as a result of opening the Divi Naguma Sunday weekly fair. Chief Minister of the Western Province, Prasanna Ranatunga, several people's representatives and residents attended the opening ceremony. That's a look at news here at home. Join us for international news in just a moment. International news now. US President Barack Obama has said that there is an emerging consensus that European countries must now focus on jobs and growth. Speaking after the G8 summit of some of the world's leading economies, he said the US was confident that Europe can meet its challenges. President Obama said leaders had made good progress on a range of issues. In addition to the Eurozone crisis, they discussed Iran, Afghanistan and global energy supply. The leaders of France, Germany, the US, the UK, Italy, Japan, Canada and Russia met at Camp David in the US state of Maryland. Obama said the meeting had been a success. In an earlier communique, G8 leaders committed themselves to promoting growth alongside fiscal responsibility and affirmed that they wanted Greece to stay in the Eurozone. Leaders will now turn their thoughts to Afghanistan as President Obama and other heads of government travel to Chicago for a NATO summit.
A very warm welcome to all our viewers, and you are joining Rupawahini Sports News. Well, signing in at the news desk, I'm Kaswan Sigera. Moving on with some Olympic news, the 2012 Olympic torch is to be brought from Plymouth to Exeter. Today was the second day of the 8,000-mile journey of Olympic torch, passing 1,019 villages and towns in the United Kingdom for 70 days. 3 times British Olympic sailing champion Ben Ainslie kicked off the torch rally for the 2012 Olympics amidst flag-waving crowds who cheered the arrival of flame to Britain from Greece. The Olympic torch will be brought to Olympic Stadium in London on the 27th of July, completing 12,800-kilometer journey in the United Kingdom. The Olympic organizers said that the Olympic torch will be taken a distance of 140 kilometers today.
With sports news, we conclude our night's news bulletin together with Kassan and Daphne. Wish you a very pleasant night.
Good night.